Yes, please.
Another migration question from a different angle. I read reports on Friday of refugees being pushed back to Greece from places as far as Slovenia, some being pushed back through the borders between Macedonia and Greece on holes in the fence, and in some cases including even people that may have not gone through Greece. I was wondering whether you know anything about it, whether you have a comment to offer on this.
I'm not aware of this type of movements, and Tove is telling me with body language that she's not either. Yes, please.
Thank you, Gabriela Baczynska, Reuters. Also on migration, I wanted to ask your comment about late last week, one of the Greek courts on the islands has actually granted a Syrian refugee the right to stay. He would not be returned on the basis that Turkey is not considered a third safe country to return refugees and migrants. What is your comment on that? That sets a precedent under the EU-Turkey scheme, migration scheme, and it goes against the whole discussion here and the whole argument from Brussels that Turkey is meeting
That when we were discussing the EU-Turkey agreement, we were very clear, I would say adamant in this room and beyond, that all people before being subject to the return procedure will be heard according to European and international law. And this is what is happening. So we made it very clear that all asylum applications would be treated on a case-by-case basis. And in all cases, there are individual interviews, individual assessments, and rights of appeal. So there will be no blanket and no automatic return of asylum seekers. So this is happening in a way. This vindicates what we have already claimed. The Commission, as communicated to the Greek authorities on 5th of May, finds that the legal framework in Turkey, which establishes the protection status granted to Syrians, appears as sufficient protection or protection equivalent to that foreseen by the Geneva Convention. So we also consider that the protection granted to non-Syrians in Turkey appears as equivalent to the protection foreseen by the Geneva Convention. So this is where we are, and I don't want to, or I cannot go, or I do not have anything else to say. Follow-up? Yes, go ahead.
What you just said means that the Commission assesses that Turkey protection for Syrians and non-Syrians are equal to Geneva. Apparently the Greek court does not agree with that. And also, are you worried that this sets a precedent and can unravel the whole EU-Turkey migration cooperation, because the purpose was that the EU will be able to send these people back? And if this approach to this particular first person extends to all others, the EU will not be able to send them back. Thanks.
We agree that the EU-Turkey agreement is a framework with all the necessary guarantees under European international law to allow for these returns to happen. And what I just said was a reminder of how attached we are to the absolute respect of European and international law under this agreement. And I said that what we're seeing now probably also is a direct consequence of the law being applied. So as for the so-called behavioral statements of how worried, happy, angry, or hungry we are, you know that we always keep this aside from our statements. Jurek.